Hello! In order to not miss our start for season number 6, because it's probably coming up shortly again, go to aka.ms/Defender News, and there you will see all the goodness of all the things that we release in the Defender world from the past month. But today it's all about Microsoft Defender for XDR. I have two SMEs experts with me, and I will let them introduce themselves, and I will start with Meiko, please.
Hi, thanks, Heike. My name is Meiko Lopez. I am a senior product manager within our service delivery management space that helps service the XDR service.
Wonderful, thank you. And then we have Sebastian.
Hey, hi, Heike. Thanks for pronouncing my name in the correct way. I'm really pleased to join you. So just like Meiko, I'm in the same team as her. I'm a senior product manager also, working on our Defender Expert for XDR solutions.
Thank you so much. So what is Microsoft Defender for XDR in a nutshell?
Thanks for asking, because that's something that's very confusing for a customer usually. So Microsoft Defender Expert for XDR is our MXDR. So we start with a great acronym as always. So it means Managed Extended Detection and Response Service. So this is a managed service that Microsoft provides now, built on top of our M365 Defender suite that most of our customers already know, use, and love. So they know the product. But we identified over the years that sometimes it was challenging for a customer to stay ahead of the threats that we're identifying, understanding exactly what's happening, or having full coverage for the knowledge that is required to know all those products. That's something that's a real struggle for a customer. So what we did was to really build this service where we extend our customer security team. So we do not replace it. That's not the goal here. We're really there to help our customer by really being part of their team. So we have Microsoft experts that are part of this service that's going to work hand in hand with our customer analyst team to really triage the alerts, look at what really matters, because that's also a challenge for a customer, provide recommendations to improve the security posture. And of course, in case of any threats that we would identify, go back to the customer, take some action to mitigate the risk, and continuously review this through people like me or Meiko. So we are part of this team as a secret service delivery manager. And the idea is really to help our customer improve their use of our products, but also really improve their security posture by providing all those different services within Defender Expert for XDR.
So, but it's different, of course, to Microsoft Defender Experts for hunting, or what we used to call Microsoft Threat Experts. So in this case, I think your team, like the big team, is also hands-on, like it's a managed service. So you help and you can, I don't know, isolate a machine, or you can remove threats. So how is that different?
That's a great question that we're always asked when we talk about this service. So Defender Expert for Hunting, that was released a bit more than a year ago in GA, is, as the name say, proactive hunting. So we have people that are hunting in our customer environment to find those threats. Here, for Defender Expert for XDR, what we do is that we manage the queue. So we do all those things that I said before, but this also includes those Defender Expert for hunting capabilities. So we have proactive hunting that's added to the service. So in addition to managing the queues of our customer and helping them mitigate those threats to manage responses, we have these hunting capabilities that come on top of it. And the Defender, so the Ask the Expert or Expert on Demand feature that you're also talking about, which is also another component that customer can buy, is also included in this service. So when a customer has a question regarding a product, emerging threat, they can just hit the button and they're going to come to us or our analyst team to get all the details that they might be missing there. So this is really a bundle of all those capabilities, really extending what you already know with this MXDR service that we are just launching.
So, and Defender Experts for Hunting are the ones that are popping up or bringing into the portal the targeted attack notification? Is that, or how is that?
So you have the Expert on Demand or the Ask the Expert. That's in the portal, the button where you can say, I need help regarding this incident, or I want to get details about this threats that you're noticing me about. So that's one component. This is really the as the expert or expert domain capabilities. And this is where we will have our customer that's not sure about what's happening and they want to get or answer. That's the expert demand. That's also included in the service. The Defender expert for XDR is really our analyst managing the queue for customers. So it's not a customer asking to look at this incident. It's really our analysts that are working on those incidents, performing some additional investigation, threat hunting, looking for more evidences to be sure that this is really something that matters, which is very often challenging for a customer because they're not sure where they have to look to find the right signals to confirm that there is really something happening or not. So that's something that can be combined. So the idea here is really providing all those capabilities for a customer, working with them on the queue and taking ownership really of those activities on those incidents. In addition to the service that you mentioned, the expert domain, where it was a customer that was performing investigation that maybe had a question about a threat or an incident that will reach out to us and we would come back to them. So that's a different thing there.
Okay, so you're the full package.
Yes, exactly. That's a full package.
And I would like to add, if I may, so you mentioned the TAN, the threat attack notifications. So those are now rebranded as the Defender Experts Notifications, so DEN. And so that's a part of the proactive hunting service that Sebastian mentioned in our speech already. So it's rebranded to DEN, Defender Experts Notifications. And so that is included in the XDR service as well.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think
that's a big package. Yes, that's a big package. Think about Defender Expert for XDR as the big package that combines what we already had, Expert on Demand, Defender Expert for hunting, and we're adding this new managed service on top of it. So Defender Expert for XDR. That's really the full package where you have everything. We manage the queue. You can ask us for additional information, and we're also doing proactive hunting and notifying you when we identify something.
So, and can I now envision that you have, I don't know, we have 410 customers in our managed service and you have like 450 monitors in front of you and of each is the individual portal and you look at the incident queue, or how can I? How is it working?
That's a very good question. So we have our own tools where the analysts have a queue with all the incidents for all our customers, and we have a prioritization that occurs based on the severity that we're seeing there, and they can perform some additional investigation. They're not only doing this manually, of course, we have AI tools that we implemented, additional automation, triage, and optimization to help us. So that's really human expertise with AI and advanced tools that we implemented.
Okay, perfect. And then, of course, this is all, 24/7, 365 days a year. Maybe, Meiko, tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. So how our Defender Experts for XDR works, we are a 24/7, 365 coverage shop. We go through a cycle of triaging, investigating, responding, and helping our customer prevent any future attacks within the environment. We do have a phased approach as we're onboarding, monitoring, and helping protect our customers. But it is a best practice that we leverage to help our customers continue to improve their security posture, along with helping prevent threats and extend their security operations to the best that we can.
And I would assume because every single customer, of course, is different. So they have a different security team. They have a different infrastructure. They are a different target because of the sector they are in and so on. So how is the onboarding going? How are you learning the customers? And how do a customer actually get started when they want to get managed by your service?
So from an onboarding standpoint, upon purchase, a SDM, a service delivery manager, is immediately assigned to the customer. And so within the onboarding phase, which is on average about 2 weeks in length, our customers go through this readiness check where we look through their settings and configurations to ensure that they at least meet our minimum requirements for the service. And so a part of that is reviewing their attack surface reduction rules, verifying that they have, simple settings in place, tamper protection, spam filtering, things of that nature in place to make sure that we optimize the best use of our security tools within the environment. We assess what tools they're using. As some of you may be aware, Defender is a suite of products as well as our service. And so we assess and evaluate which particular tool sets the customers have in place, along with any other components that they may have in place that's monitoring and managing their environment. And so we do some validation checks as well as ensure that the customer do the implementations as fast and efficient as possible. And so during that time period, the SDM is hand-holding them through that process, providing any guidance, connecting them with the appropriate resource to answer any questions, and being their trusted advisor throughout that experience.
Okay, so if they don't yet meet the requirements because they didn't configure, I don't know, the spam configuration properly or something, then you will guide them through and until they're basically set with the minimum requirements.
That's correct. And within the secure score, within the Defender portal, we actually have a monitor where there's a specific filter for Defender experts that the customers can leverage during that onboarding and readiness phase to assess where they are currently and what additional progress they need to make to meet those minimum requirements.
So these prerequisites, do we have them also in our documentation, for instance? Is that something that you share once a customer is interested, because then it's also only needed for them, or something that we just share?
Yes, so it's definitely available in our public documentation on learn.microsoft.com. They can look for Defender experts for XDR. There's onboarding guides. There's, get to know the service, what to expect. All of that is publicly available for the customers. And so they can do the preparation ahead of whether they want to do a trial or even to purchase the service.
Okay, perfect. So then when you did all of this, you learned, now I think you're getting familiar with the environment, if I'm reading that correctly. So it's like now is the next phase after they are onboarded. Mm-hmm. Now you learn the customer. What's happening there?
That's correct. So then we move into a monitoring phase after the customer has met the minimum requirements. All checks are good from both the customer as well as our XDR service side of the house. And so we move into a monitoring phase. And within this particular phase, what we do is get to know the customer's environment a little bit more deeply and technical, right? We want to get to know the intricacies of the environment, settings, configurations, what type of incidents and alerts we're receiving. And if there's some automation that we can put into place during that time period, our XDR analysts are working to do that. Also within this, again, service delivery manager is there hand-holding the customer throughout the process, throughout the whole life cycle of the service. And so the SDMs is doing checkpoints to ensure the customer is aware of kind of how we operate. What's our level of expectations as they're engaging? What should they be doing? What should they, release ownership of during that process? So we do have an expectation for the customer during the monitoring phase to continue operations as usual, to continue to triage and respond to the incidents that do come in. If there is support needed, of course, we're there to support, but we don't want to totally ask the customer to relinquish ownership until we move into full operations.
Which means only after you move to full operations is when the incidents, alerts, and things are popping up into your dashboard and you're proactively monitoring and doing things.
That is correct. And so when we move into operation, that's when the full service becomes available. We begin to manage across high and medium alerts. We manage across all supported products within the Defender suite. We provide the proactive hunting service. And I do want to make notion that the proactive hunting service is available at the beginning of the service, right? We don't want to have our customer think, hey, the first 2 to 4 weeks of being within the service that Microsoft is not here to support. That is not true. We do provide this service throughout the life cycle of the engagement with Defender experts. And just during the operations particular phase, that's when we send out notifications. We actively engage with our customer, whether it's through chat, whether it's through email, or if necessary, getting on a phone call to help remediate and respond to the alerts.
Okay, thank you. So, Sebastian, so maybe how does it like help customers? Of course, you support them as a team, but do you have maybe some numbers like how are alerts going down, incidents going down, or like how is a response quicker because your team proactively monitored and immediately reacted?
Yeah, that's a great question because of course people want to understand what am I gaining by subscribing to this service. So I can share example of some of my customers that drastically improve their security posture and their efficiency also while managing the incident that we have in the M365D suite. So this customer, when we started to engage, or to be clear, they had a limited staff. They did not operate 24/7, and that's why they came to us. And when we started our operation, this customer had several hundred of incidents per month. So of course, that was very difficult for their team to know exactly what to prioritize, what to do to really improve their security posture. Because you can imagine when you have a huge environment with all those alerts, where should I start? How can I improve my security score, my security posture, my configuration, my policies? So that was very difficult for this customer. And over months, we started to work with our analyst team and the SDM team to provide recommendation to this customer. So this customer really trusted us, implemented the recommendation that we provided, like specific security configuration in the Microsoft suite, but also in their non-Microsoft solution. Because when we see something that's outside of our realm, we also provide recommendation when possible. And what they did after implementing this solution was also focusing on what we were recommending them. So after 5 to 6 months, something like this, when we presented the result to their manager, they were pretty impressed because when we look at the initial incident, we were generating about 600 to 700 incidents per month. We were sending or manage responses to specify the action that we're recommending. And some of those were related also to false positives. So their security team were losing time. And during the last check, something amazing that we saw was that the incident load decreased to only a few dozens per month. And all the managed responses that we sent to them, so the actions that the customer have to implement to remediate the threat, were focused only to true positive. So they were really impressed by all the changes that we did. But of course, it took several months of deep collaboration. It was not only us doing this for them, it was us with them, hand in hand, improving their security posture and having also the customer leveling up. So based on the discussion that we had or explanation about the emerging threat and the specific settings that they should implement, they also saw that their security team were increasing their knowledge, which is always appreciated by our customers. So that was really a success, and we have seen this with several of our customers already.
Thank you for sharing. I think this is so important because it can really reduce, I don't want to call it noise, but you have some line of business applications, they raise alerts, you can suppress them, you can resolve them, you can remove your false positives, and all these things are so important to have a clean queue that even you guys can look at. But getting there is a process for sure. And if you don't have the amount of people that you need, as you said, like they were overwhelmed.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. And now I will get into the demo, I guess. I'm so excited.
So once you are onboarded into our service, you will see that there are a few things that will appear in your portal. So that's a portal, again, that our security specialists already know. So we wanted to really build on top of this. And the first thing that you will notice is that when you go to the portal, there is a new widget that will appear. And this widget is really there to tell you if there are some incidents that require your immediate action. So I'm going to show you an example, but when our analysts detect that there is something to do, like isolating a machine, isolating a malware that we identify in the environment, or maybe just working on a user that has been compromised or their mailbox has been maybe accessed and there are malicious activities, we're providing our customer different things to do. And they will see this right from the start, that there are some incidents that require their attention. So in addition to this widget, if I scroll down a little bit in the report section of the portal, you will see that you have 2 new reports that will appear once you are onboarded. You can see that there is a Defender Expert section now that appeared, and we have a hunting report and an XDR report section. So if I open my XDR report, it's going to show us all the different information that are related to the Defender Expert for XDR service. So this is where you can see the incident that we've been working on in a specific period. So you can see from here that this is a demo environment, so we don't have many incidents in the last 30 days. But if I move to 6 months, this is where you can see here the number of incidents that have been investigated by Defender Expert for XDR analysts that have been resolved or resolved directly by our automated tools. Resolve with your help means that we have also action that were required on the customer side. And those are the actions that have been implemented through a managed response that we are providing in the incident. And then our customer have been able to resolve those threats through those different helps. Okay. So in here, you can see also that we have details about incidents that have been generated in the period that you select. So in this case, you can see the trends over the last 6 months by severity. But we also provide incident per category with a button that allows you to pivot to the incident queue. And that's how you can see really what we've been working on in that specific period. You can see also at the bottom, average resolution time, which is a widget where you will see the Defender Expert activities to resolve those incidents. So when we really manage your incident queue and the time it took for a customer to take some action. Of course, here, numbers are pretty high because this is a demo tenant, but usually it's really a matter of minutes where you will see the time that we spent investigating those incidents and the time that the customer team have been spending to perform the action that we're recommending before the incident has been resolved.
So I know that your team, the SDM, of course, has that very tight relationship with the customer, and there is also a report that you are going to share out with them once a month. Is this the same report, or what's the content of that report, and how does that reporting out look like?
Yes, this is correct. So this is the in-product report that we provide to our customers. And this is something that's going to continue to evolve over time based on the customer request and recommendation. But in parallel to this, what we do when we have our monthly sync with our customers, our team, the SDM, prepare more detailed report. And during those reports, we're going to talk about emerging threats, the specific incident that have been processed and that required a specific attention. We provide also additional recommendation based on vulnerabilities or emerging malwares, for example, that might be really targeted to our customers. And all those different type of additional information are presented in a custom report, which is different for every customer, and that is built by the SDM and presented to a customer. So that's something that we share with our customers so they can continue to improve. And over time, what we're doing, of course, is trying to shift all the information from those custom reports more and more directly into the portal, so our customer can track this on a more regular basis than the monthly sync that we have with them.
Thank you. And then through the portal, they can also reach out to that service, or are they going to call the SDM and then the SDM is not on duty? So how is that working?
So very good question. So I will show you within the incident queue how a customer can reach out to us. So we have the expert on demand that is already known, but of course they can always contact us through email. So it's not Sebastian that's having some nice vacation somewhere that's going to prevent our customer to be secure. Of course, we have also our team that's covering all the different region across the world, and we're using shared aliases where we always have somebody to look at a customer question. So it's not only dedicated to one person. Of course, it's a team effort where everybody supports our customer 24/7. Yes, that's really the idea.
Okay, thank you. So I asked a question about this, but I think you want to go and continue your demo.
Yes, let me switch now to the incident queue. So from here, if you click from your report into the queue, that's going to apply some filters, and you will see that I'm just going actually to the incident section of the M365 Defender portal. So this is again something that our customers already know and use every day. And here I wanted to show you some example of incident that we've been working on. So the first thing that you might notice is that here we had a filter that was applied, so I can easily change this and see also active incident for my demo. And this tag here, the Defender Expert tag, is a system tag. So this is not something that the customer can remove. That's a question that we also have from customer. What if somebody in my team just remove the tag? Can I see what you guys have been working on? Yes, you can by just filtering through the Defender Expert tags. And from there, you will see the list of all the incidents that we've been working on. On all those incidents that we're working on, you will also see, if I scroll a little bit on the right, that we're providing two different ways to identify where action are needed from our customers, and also the way to notify the customer that we're working on this incident. So in addition to the tag that I talk about, you can see that the assigned to value can be populated with Defender Experts. So this is telling our customer that the Defender Expert are currently owning this case, that they're performing additional investigation to validate if it's a false positive, true positive, if there are specific action that must be implemented. And once we have completed our analysis, what we're going to do is to provide to our customer potentially a list of action that have to be implemented. And in this case, what we do is that we change the ownership to the customer. So if we look at this value here, customer has been assigned. So as a customer, I know that I must do something on this specific incident. As we know that it's not always easy to look at the assigned to section, especially when you might have analysts that are going to assign themselves those incidents. We're also providing another status named awaiting customer actions. And when you see this tag, it means that the Defender Expert publish a managed response and that we're expecting some action from you. And I'm going to show you an example of such action that can be requested to our customers. And this is something that you will see again directly in the portal. But for customers that are probably not monitoring 24/7 the portal, we send also an email notification. So you know that there is something that's waiting for you in your portal. And if you're using Sentinel, we're also going to synchronize this information with Sentinel, just in case you're monitoring this portal instead of the Defender one.
So the Defender Experts tag in my old world with Defender for Endpoint and the Defender Threat Experts, Microsoft, I can't even remember how they were called, but the Threat Experts, if they actually raised an alert, like previously targeted attack notification, now I forgot again, Meiko.
What Defender Experts notification.
Defender Experts notification. Thank you.
Yes.
So is that label the same? Like there was an alert coming from your team that then tag the whole incident, or can your team also say, oh, we need to look at that incident and now I'm tagging it at experts and now I'm looking at it. So how is that tag?
No, there will be, so we're going to have the same tag, and I'm going to show you an example of those Defender Expert notifications. That's a very good point, because we made it so seamless for a customer that very often they do not realize that we're actually creating an incident for them, which is based on our hunting capabilities. The idea is really to provide a new incident into the queue, and the customer don't necessarily realize that it's a human that generated this, so our hunting team, and not one of the Defender products. So that's why we're trying it to make it really easy for a customer. So if we look at this incident here, that's an incident that has been raised and that has been investigated by our Defender Experts. And again, as you can see, the status, we're waiting for customer action. And this action is a managed response that we're providing. So in this case, we're requesting the customer to do it. And if the customer click on the managed response, that's where they will see potentially a list of action that we're recommending. From here, you can see that we're asking questions to potentially offboard the user, resetting the password. It could be also isolating a machine, isolating a file. And in those cases, when we have those actions that are natively part of the Defender product, it's really a one-click button to move to the action for isolating this machine. Or if this is something else that we're asking, the customer can mark this as complete once they have performed this action. Or what they can do, if we look at the three dots here, is also maybe skipping this if they believe that this is not relevant based on the system that was generating those alerts. Or if we have a customer needing some additional information from the user or somebody else in the team, they can always tell us by marking this as a task in progress that they're working on this and that they will come back to us. So the information that you're putting there is coming back to us. So now let's talk about a customer that might have a question, because I'm not sure maybe what's happening here. What does it mean, this alert? How can I know exactly what's happening within my environment? And this can be very stressful for customers.
I see the chat.
The chat, exactly. And that's answering your question. That was, I was teasing you, but I didn't want to spoil this. You can see that when you go to the chat section, you can chat with our Defender expert. So from here, you will just type your message that's going to go back to our analysts, and they will be able to directly answer your question based on this specific incident that we see here. So that's the capability that we've been releasing here to really help customer to ask their question and really just do like if report of their team without having to move to another solution or move to an email. So as you asked me, Heike, about the Defender Expert notification coming from our hunting service, let me show you again the report section. We saw that before, and I told you that we have two sections, one for XDR, and the first one was hunting reports. So this is the hunting reports. And when you go there as a customer, that's where you will see all the suspicious activities that our team has been identifying. You will see that here in August, I don't necessarily have a notification that has been generated. So it means that after performing additional investigation, we didn't identify something that was requesting our customer attention. But if I go back to previous months, so if I go there, like May, for example, you can see that I had multiple suspicious activities to actually lead to one DEN or Defender Expert notification to be generated. So from here, if I pivot to this notification, you can see that I'm pivoting again directly to the incident queue. We have those Defender Experts notification that have been generated. They really look like an incident that have been generated by our product, but if you look at the name here, Defender Experts, it means that this has been generated by our team. So it's really subtle. You don't necessarily realize that you're being protected here and that we have the hunting team that perform this action, but that's really how you can identify such specific notification. And again, from them, if there are some specific action that are required, we're going to provide them directly in the portal. You can see that we have also details like the specific phishing playbook, for example, with the recommended step for the customers. And if there are any additional steps to be done in addition to what we also have here, everything will be from here. And of course, you can always contact us using the Ask the Defender Expert button at the top, for example, to ask more information. So very simple, as you can see.
Thank you so much for the demo. If someone wants to learn more about the service, or maybe even do we have a trial, any link that you could share with us, Meiko?
Yes, they can visit aka.ms/DefenderExperts for XDR. Within that site, they can request a trial, learn more about the service, and even move to purchase.
Wow. Okay, perfect. Thank you both so much. I think we covered everything. We talked about what it is. We talked about the different phases from onboarding, monitoring, and then actually triaging or being operationalizing. I can't even say the word, but you know what I mean. And then we had a great demo. So if anyone out there still have questions, use our platform here to continue ask your questions, and we will monitor and answer. And again, Sebastian and Meiko, thank you so much for being my experts on today's show. Until then, stay safe.